Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Happy Thursday, y'all. How y'all doing? How's it going? It's a new week. I'm back at it again. I know y'all miss me like I miss y'all too. How's the week been for y'all? Y'all know I'm gonna start off by telling you how my week was, and I'm telling you right now, I had a pretty good week. It was a real productive week. I will say that much. For the most part, I got a lot done, but I realized that it was a new week because I'm looking up and it's Thursday again. And I was like, man, it's almost the end of my work week for me today. So not only do I got that going on for me, I got my radio show today. All in all, I noticed that Thursday's here again. Work has been amazing, but work has been keeping me on my toes. And when I say work, I don't mean the mini golf. I'm talking about funeral home and inspired life, memorials and cremations. Y'all know we got 3 locations in the Valley, for sure. Always check us out. You know, if you got pre-need you want to get done and get taken care of, you can call us for that. Set up something so that way when you do go, families already knowing what you need and what you got to get taken care of. Or, you know, if you got a loved one that's probably in hospice at the moment and you need somebody to take care of them, we got you. You know, we do our best to make sure our families are taken care of and well off, make sure they're okay. They don't have any questions, comments, or concerns. So I do love that. And with that being said, man, it's just like, I can see why people say going into a career field instead of a job is a lot more time consuming, because I know I work 2 jobs, so I'm not trying to blame it on 2 jobs. But what I realize is that this one is that you got to make sure you cross every T and dot every I. That's what I'll say. It's a great experience all in all to be able to be in this position. The job itself is great. I'm there to be able to comfort people and help them set up final arrangements for their loved ones, you know, if need be. So all in all, I just realized that, man, like pretty soon I probably won't be able to keep doing this 2 job thing, man. The one, you know, going into a career is kind of like taking up a lot of my time and a lot of my process. You know, I got a lot of processing for me. I love it though. I would love to keep 2 jobs, but mentally I'm starting to figure out that it wasn't built for me to work like this, to be working that hard and be a slave all that time. You know, like I deserve to have a break, to have some relaxation going on, and not steady looking up at when the next time I got to clock in to work. So all in all, I love that job because they keep me on my toes, keep me on my P's and Q's. I learn so much. I get so much valuable information, and I got great leadership and great colleagues. So I've been using that word now since I'm in a career field, not a job, colleagues instead of coworkers. But like, I also am starting to realize that I'm being taken away from my family more. You know, my kids are starting to complain and open up now. The wife, you know, without saying it, she says it, you know, she has her issues with it. So I've just realized that I either have to make a decision to find a way to get 2 consistent days off each week from both jobs to spend with the family, or I just have to go down to, you know, and stick to the funeral home and say goodbye to the mini golf, you know, even though I would hate to do that, but I think that's kind of what the goal is now. It's been helping me get out of a lot of debt, so I'm not, you know, complaining, but I would love to be able to keep it as a savings goal. But if I can't, again, it's more so about my family and time. That's what I want to talk about today, man. Like this last week, it's been a great week for me, but it's opened my eyes and I've realized just how exhausting things have gotten for me, how tiring I've been. And I don't think I've realized mentally what I've been doing to myself. Um, Now I see, now I understand, but in all honesty, I think I am starting to wear myself down. I'm starting to be a little too exhausted, too tired, very overwhelmed when I don't have to be and don't need to be. Um, so I've just been like trying to get back into focus and understand why is it like that. Because when I was younger, man, I could work 3 to 4 jobs. Sorry, about 10 years ago, my early 20s, I could work 3 or 4 jobs and I wouldn't bat an eye. I can get 3 hours of sleep. I wouldn't bat an eye. Now I need at least 5 to 6 hours of sleep. I only work 2 jobs, but I feel like it's just a little, it's exhausting now. Um, I feel like my mental health is taking a beating, has been taking a beating and continues to take one. So all in all, I'm just like trying to figure out what can I do? What can I do to actually fix that? I don't know, man. I'm gonna figure it out. But I will talk about that today about the research I've done and what I'm trying to do to mentally get better in the current environment and situation I'm in until I can get out of it. By the way, followers, listeners, watchers, whatever you want to call yourselves on this lovely day, I do just want to give you guys an update for the Hot 702 team. Um, Pretty soon here, moving forward, we're going to be going away from Facebook, and we'll be streaming on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. So be prepared for those updates. As we move along, I will give you more and more about it. That, again, we'll be moving away from Facebook and we'll be transitioning over to just Facebook, Twitch, and TikTok. All right. I'll say it again at the end of the show because I know sometimes y'all hear me and y'all don't hear me. Some of y'all I found out. Shout out to the ones that go watch the show over because sometimes they miss little moments or things that I said that, to pick up on. So I appreciate that. It actually shows me that you actually like listening and like hearing what I got to say, um, for the most part. So thank y'all for that. I really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. But yeah, all in all, back to what I was saying again, man. My mental is slowly degrading, and I am going to get to it before it gets there. I am going to attack the problem before it becomes a crisis. Right now, it's an issue, but it can become a crisis, and before it gets there, um, I'm going to find a way to get around that. So one of the articles I pulled up, this is actually from the National Institute of Mental Health, right? And it just gives you a little overview and about how you can take better care of your mental health. Because honestly, I thought I was great at my mental health, and I think I'm decent now. Coming to look back at it as at how I've been ignoring my mental health the last few months. Um, I'm going to take myself from great to decent because if it was great, I would have caught it and I would have taken care of it before it got there. And because I couldn't do that, I feel like that I missed something and there's something else I need to work on. So that's what I want to do. I want to get that and work on my mental health so I can be better at it because there's no way I should have let it get to the point where I'm just completely overstimulated and exhausted. It's not fair. It's not, I need to fix that. This one talks about the overview. And again, this is from the National Institute of Mental Health. And this is from December. This is just from December. Very recent. Y'all know I try to pull up things that are fairly recent, if not the closest I can get to today's date. That way I'm not giving you out too much of outdated information. But it overview was saying that the mental health includes emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It is more than the absence of a mental illness. It's essential to your overall health and quality of life. Self-care can play a role in maintaining your mental health and help support your treatment and recovery if you have a mental illness. This part goes into how can I take care of my mental health. It's kind of what I want to talk to y'all about, little ways. And I got another article or two to go over too, but I'll make them quick and simple so we can have a wrap up conversation, the way we do. Um, Self-care means taking the time to do things that help you live well and improve both your physical health and mental health. This can help you manage stress, lower your risk of illness, and increase your energy. Even small acts of self-care in your daily life can have a big impact. So it says get regular exercise. Just 30 minutes of walking every day can boost your mood and improve your health. Small amounts of exercise add up, so don't be discouraged if you can't do 30 minutes at one time. So if you got to break it down into 5-minute sessions, go for it. 2-minute sessions, go for it. However, you can break it down to try to get that taken care of for yourself, just to get yourself on the mentally and physically on a better level, so that you can take care of the issues you got at hand. Eat healthy, regular meals and stay hydrated. So if y'all know me, man, I was a lover of junk food. I used to love junk food and fast food and greasy shit and bad shit that was just bad for you. Now I love salads. I love, making sure I get some water, keep myself hydrated. Um, just to take care of my body, man, because I just realized, like they say that saying, your body's a temple. I just realized, man, like I can't keep eating bad like that because it don't work out for me. But the minute I choose to start doing right and start doing better, I'm not saying I'm at the best level for my health and my eating habits. But what I will say is I'm at a level where I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to have a little bit more energy. I'm starting to have that time to be able to say, all right, like for example, for like the last week, when I go use the bathroom in the morning, I ain't got no tummy issues. I'm not fighting with my stomach. I'm not having pains. I'm not begging God to please take it away. I'm not doing none of that. It's actually been easier system. My digestive system has been better. Um, Easy going for using the bathroom. Like, man, I'm loving it. But it's because, again, my mental health is something serious. And if I keep letting it go to waste and just putting it off to the side, man, sooner or later I'm going to crash out. And I ain't trying to crash out on nobody or nothing. You feel me? I'm just trying to live my life the best I can. A balanced diet and plenty of water can improve your energy and focus throughout the day. Pay attention to your intake of caffeine and alcohol and how they affect your mood and well-being. For some, decreasing caffeine and alcohol consumption can be helpful. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really drink like I used to in my early 20s. Once I started having kids, I kind of let the alcohol go. I was more so worried about what I could do for myself. So I'll be honest, that wasn't really a concern to me. Um, but eating healthier and drinking more water, that has definitely been a concern. Like now, when I go to work in the mornings, I'll grab a water or two, try to drink them. If I didn't drink one at home, I'm trying to put more water in my system because I also can feel it with my skin. Man, my skin ain't as beautiful as it used to be, and hey, what can I say about that? That's my fault for not taking care of it as I need to. Now, I'm not saying my skin is bad and rough or nothing like that, but as smooth as it used to be, I see little blemishes in my face, and that just tells me that I'm not doing my job, keeping up with my body, keeping up with my health. So I'm gonna change that. I mean, I think I look good right now. What y'all think? I think I look good. But all in all, though, I think it's very important to make sure you do stay hydrated and eat good meals and stay healthy. We keep putting all that bad shit in our bodies and keep eating horrible and not drinking enough water to stay hydrated, especially here in Vegas, man. Y'all know what this fucking heat do to y'all, man. Y'all will be out there passed out on the goddamn floor. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to take care of yourself. That's the whole point of it. Take care of yourself. Um, Make sleep a priority. So I know I have an issue with this, but I figured it out. I have figured out why I stay up so much, so late at night. Um, First, it says stick to a schedule and make sure you're getting enough sleep. Blue light from devices and screens can make it harder to fall asleep. So reduce blue light exposure from your phone and computer before bedtime. Now, the issue with me why I couldn't sleep at night is because I was too busy. My sleep pattern was all over the place. So let's say at the time I was working Tuesday through Saturday with Sunday, Monday off. So Tuesday through Saturday, I'll go to sleep early and then I'll go to sleep like 11, 12, and I'll get up 6, 7 in the morning, 7:38, whatever it may be, one of those times. And then Sunday, Monday, I get up at like 11 or 10 because I feel like I can sleep in. But what was causing that with my body was confusion. So my body's like, am I supposed to get up at 7 or am I supposed to get up at 11? So now my body is fighting the time changes that I got going on 5 days out the week, 5, 6 days. And I'm sitting here wondering why I can't get no decent sleep. Let me tell you something. This last week, I'll go to sleep every night like 11, maybe 12, but I always get up at 7 o'clock, maybe 8 at the latest. I'll always get up still. And I felt so much better that way. I kid you not, so much better. The issue was my body needs to be on a consistent sleep schedule every day throughout the week. Not not because I'm off Sunday, Monday, so I can go in later. I'm gonna sleep in a little later. No, I should still be getting up at those times, get my body on an actual sleep schedule, and stick to it. Because this last week and a half of doing that, wow. I'll get up. I may be a little tired, but I'm not as tired as I used to be. I'm not dragging myself out of bed like, all right, let's get to work again. All right, let's do this, let's do that. I'm not doing all of that. I feel a lot better. So I think it's good to actually, you know, make sleep a priority. Now that I know that, and then also I stopped coming home watching TV at night. I will come home, watch TV because I'm thinking if I watch TV, I'll fall asleep. And what happens is I get too invested in the show itself. I'm too busy watching the shows to understand that I need to take my ass to sleep. So stop doing that. I started playing the game because what I realized is playing the game, it tires me out too. I get tired faster, so I go to sleep sooner. Once I feel myself dozing up, I can lay right on down and I'm knocked out, good to go. Nothing else needed. So I'll be happy about that. I'll be super happy about that, for real. Um, but I had to learn. Took me 30 some years to figure it out, but oh well. Better late than never, right? Better late than never. Try a relaxing activity. So explore relaxation or wellness programs or apps which may incorporate meditation, muscle relaxation, or breathing exercises. Schedule regular times for these and other healthy activities you enjoy, such as listening to music, reading, spending time in nature, and engaging in low stress hobbies. Funny enough, I actually listening to music is what I do best. Like I used to be scared to listen to music to go to sleep because I, back then I had those alarm clocks that would be outside of your phone. So I didn't want me not being able to hear it because I had the headphones in. Now my music will stop for my alarm to go off, so it doesn't matter. But that works as well. I can get some music played and I'll just listen to the music and fall asleep. Set goals and priorities. So decide what must get done now and what can wait. Learn to say no to new tasks if you start to feel like you're taking on too much. Try to appreciate what you have accomplished at the end of the day. I like that one. I need to do more of that one because I don't do that a lot. I don't do that a lot. So I like that one. Practice gratitude. Remind yourself daily of things that you are grateful for. Be specific, write them down, or replay them in your mind. I've been working on that one actually because I was told before that I don't know how to take a compliment. I always say something like, oh, that's not true, but thank you anyway. And sometimes I can learn to be like, I need to learn to just say, thank you so much. I appreciate it and call it a day. I do. Some compliments are needed. It's okay. Focus on positivity. Identify and challenge your negative and unhelpful thoughts. You know what they mean by that? Someone told me one day I'm too positive, and I was like, I don't understand. I don't think there's a such thing. I think that there's going to be negativity everywhere you look, but if you focus on the positive, it's easier to deal with the negative. So, for example, when I was like, well, you can't be that positive. What would you do if your tire was on flat when you went out to work that morning? Oh, easy. I ain't got to put gas in the car. I can call an Uber and go to work. That's cool. And you're like, oh, well, you're thinking too. No, I found the positive into it. Yeah, I may not drive to work, but I can still get to work. Hey, hello, how we doing? What's going on? So I don't like people that can focus solely on the negativity because if all you can focus on is the bad shit is gonna keep happening. It's gonna keep happening. Me personally, I like to focus on the positive because you can't change the negative. So find some light in the situation and then work from there and make it better, make it easier on yourself. A lot of people, I think they have those negative mindsets, and that's why they have negative times and negative situations. Because you have a negative mindset. You keep telling yourself every morning that you're gonna have a bad day. Yeah, you're gonna have a bad day. Hell yeah, it's gonna be a bad day. That's how you thinking. That's how you starting the day off. Like, no, manifest having a good day went for a change, and see how that works out. See what happens then. Tired of that. Like, everybody want to sit up there and focus on the negative and then say, "Oh, I'm gonna have a bad day. Oh, I can't believe I'm having a bad day." Well, thinking like that, I know why you're having a bad day. Get over that shit. Get out of that mindset and do better. Do better so you can be better. You know. Last but not least, stay connected. Reach out to friends or family members who can provide emotional support and practical help. I love that one the most because personally, personally, I have gotten to a point where mentally, when I'm going through something, when I'm having a tough time dealing with my mental condition, mental health, um, I isolate myself. But I realize that I'm digging myself in a deeper hole because sometimes we need those interactions from people around us so that we can actually grow from a situation, be better in a situation, or we can actually have positivity to it. So I'm not perfect at it yet, but I've been trying it every time my mental gets to a place like that, that I'll reach out to the ones that love me, spend time with them. Like lately, I've been going to my brother's house on Sundays. We go with the family, spend time together for little barbecues and family days, or whether it's Monday night, I take the kids and want to do something with them, so that way we kind of get a little bit of time together too. But what I've learned is that I spend time with the people that love and care about me because they know. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Nobody on this earth, nobody on this planet will know me better than my children. Nobody on this earth will. I can fake it as much as I think I can with my kids, but they know. they pick up on it so fast, and they just. But the thing I love about my kids is when I say no, I'm okay. They'll hear me and they'll be like, okay, like they just let it go. But the fact that they see it and they try to make it better, they actually sit there and they they show me that they know I'm going through something. They shower me with love. They want to play more. They want to give more hugs and kisses. They want more time together. And man, just to say the support I get from them is just, it's amazing. And it gives me all the motivation and drive I need to keep going. I swear it does. I know a lot of people don't have kids, or some people don't have kids. So, they may not understand that feeling or know what I'm talking about. But in my situation, man, when it comes to making sure I reach out to my support group. My children are my biggest support group. They are. They are my biggest support group. I don't ask them to do anything. I don't ask them for help. I don't ask them to make it better. But the fact that they see it and they try to make it better on their own, I love it. And it makes me feel better because now I know my kids are going to be really good people when they grow up. They'll be able to recognize emotional distress without somebody saying it. So, they'll be able to see the signs instead of actually trying to have somebody tell them the signs. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. But again, all of that comes back to the fact that my mental health is just, I think I'm just overworking myself. Okay, I'll be honest. I think I'm just overworking myself, and that's where it all comes from. And I need to work more on that and get that into a better place for myself to lower it and bring it down. This one talks about that, feeling overworked, and strategies for individuals and teams to regain balance. So, whether you're pursuing your passion or celebrating a job well done, there are a lot of little and big wins to experience at work every day. But if you frequently feel stress instead of satisfaction, you could be suffering from overwork. I love that. It's great to work hard, but it's equally important to live well. The key to preventing overwork is to prioritize impact, not output. And I did not understand what they meant by that when it says to basically prioritize impact, not output. If you're personally feeling overworked, you can address this by setting boundaries and communicating them to your manager. As a manager or team lead, you can prevent overwork within your team by supporting team members and providing context and clarity for their work. And this article will introduce you to some common signs and causes of overwork before diving into how you can prevent overwork as an individual of team lead. Now, how to spot overwork is maybe you're feeling stressed out at work, but how do you know if it's overwork? Overwork happens when you work too hard, too much, or too long. If you feel like you're exceeding your capacity at work, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, you're likely suffering from overwork. Okay? The reason I brought this article up because it brings up a very good point. The difference between overwork and burnout. I want to stress this enough because I kept saying I'm burnt out, I'm burnt out, I'm burnt out, and that wasn't it. That wasn't the case. I'm just overworked. Prolonged overwork can lead to burnout. Like in 2019, the World Health Organization classified burnout as an occupational phenomenon resulting from chronic workplace stress. According to the Anatomy of Work Index, 71% of knowledge workers experienced burnout at least once in 2020. Or of those knowledge workers, nearly half, 46% of respondents cited being overworked as a key factor contributing to burnout. So I can get to a burnout if I keep going at the rate I'm going. I can, but I will not get there. Um, I don't plan on it. I plan on fixing that, and I'm working on it as we speak. Um, Signs that you're overworked, right? Lack of energy. Didn't I just say that I had lack of energy? Doing too much. Constantly stressed at work. The first job at the funeral home, I don't really stress at that one, but man, Kiss, oh my God. Anxiety before beginning work, such as the Sunday scaries, Kiss again. Difficulty disconnecting from work. You know what? That's a little bit of both, but I don't, at the funeral home, I don't think it's a bad thing to have a difficulty disconnecting from work simply because, like, I think it's just in my personality. It's embedded in my DNA. That's just how I am, honestly. Feeling like you can't keep up with your regular life because of work-related stress. Feeling disconnected from friends and family. That's a big one. Reduced quality of work despite your best efforts. Now, overworking doesn't just feel bad. Prolonged burnout can also impact your health, leading to impaired sleep or lack of energy. Finding a healthy balance between your job and your life is a key to a good mental and increased well-being. or increase mental health and increase well-being. Now, 5 common causes of overwork is what about work. So like what about work is an activity that takes away from work that makes an impact. This includes searching for documents, chasing approvals, and just following up on the status of work. Just to name a few, we tend to take work about work at face value and assume that these tasks are just a part of the working world. But the time we spend on these rote tasks takes away from focusing on high impact work. Um, Man, I didn't think about that. Silo to work. Another common workplace stressor is silo work. When you don't have clarity on what team members are doing or why your work matters, you can't effectively get your work done. Without transparent communication, knowledge workers spend time searching for information and duplicating work. In fact, the average knowledge worker spends 13% of their time on work that's already been completed, up from 10% in 2019. So pretty much saying that because of all of that, you pretty much redoing something somebody else had already did. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Some of these I kind of want to talk about, but it's not really as big as I think it would be. Um, but I'm gonna skip over them because I think the first two are the most important to me. Um, Tips for individuals: 3 steps to advocate for yourself. This is what I really wanted to get into because this part actually tells you like what really to look at and focus on when it comes to stuff like that. If you're feeling overworked, you shouldn't try to ignore it because that's what I did, right? And if possible, don't run from it either. If it can be tempting to solve overwork by finding a new job, finding another job is an option, and sometimes it's even the best option. But if you just run away from this problem, there's a chance it can pop up again in the future. Instead, by learning to pinpoint the cause of your stress and overwork, you can practice advocating for your needs at work. This isn't just good for you personally either. When you demonstrate how you can reduce overwork to focus more on important work priorities, you're showing your manager that you're thinking about the impact you have on the team and the company instead of just the productivity of, for productivity's sake. Prioritizing health and happiness will also improve your overall work performance by increasing your capacity. Now, the first thing they say you can do is track what you're currently doing. So if you aren't sure exactly what you're feeling overworked, start by tracking the tasks you work on every day and how long you're spending on each task. If applicable, write down any work you do outside of work hours or messages that you feel compelled to reply to that happen after hours. There are a few benefits to tracking your current work. You can identify time draining tasks, which is a common cause of overwork, is perfectionism. Look for simple tasks that you're spending too much time on simply because you want to get them just right. By tracking your time, you can identify tasks that are taking up more time than you expect them to, and of course, correct if necessary. Um, Gauge notification based distractions. A lot of distractions at work happen when we see a notification icon pop up on screen. This can interrupt the flow you're in and cause you to deviate from your work plans for the day. Consider turning on Do Not Disturb when you're settling in for deep work to reduce the urge to check in. Unmask hidden work. Another reason for overwork is hidden work. These tasks aren't things we plan to work on. If you haven't already, make sure you're tracking every task in a to do list tool so you have a clear understanding of what you need to do each day. Then you want to connect your work to company goals. I think this one is more important because some people, when they're dealing with their work, they're trying to find out the best solution to help them. But I think sometimes you want to find the best solution to help the business because it makes it easier for you to keep everything running. Kind of like to get everything streamlined instead of having to do it all on your own. Understanding how your work contributes to team and company goals can help you best prioritize the projects you're working on. To be an effective team member, you shouldn't try to do as much as you possibly can. Rather, you should be focusing on your highest impact work. Before you talk to your manager, think through the goals you have. What initiatives does your work support? Alternatively, are there things you're working on that don't connect to your goals? Is there anything you can delegate to another team member or defer to a later point in time? So, learn that you're on a team for a reason. Unless you're an entrepreneur where you ain't got no team, you're doing it all on your own at the beginning, find a team and find some people that you can trust to help you get there. Um, Co-create an action plan with your manager. I like this because it says co-create, meaning that you guys work together to find a solution and make sure things happen on at the time needed to be happened. That there's not too many distractions or anything that'll separate you from getting the work done, but also not cause too much stress and overload on your body and mental health. Talking to your manager about overwork can be intimidating. Let me give you an example of that before I even get to it. So at I know maybe about a month or two ago, I told y'all how I was in the process of starting a new journey of learning how to slow down, but to the point of finding the middle of slowing down and moving too fast. Um, I do move very fast when somebody tells me to do something, but that also comes into play where it's like now my families feel like I'm trying to rush them, and I didn't want that to be the case. So I did talk to my director, and we did have a conversation about it, about how I can just slow down and take my time with things and do better at them, so that way I'm coming from a better place of understanding. Okay. Um, with that being said, we sat down together and made that and talked about it. I didn't sit up there and just, he didn't just tell me what I needed to do to make it happen, or I didn't just tell him what I wanted to do to make it happen. We came together and we talked about it, and we made a game plan so that it makes it better for the business, not just me personally. Yes, I'll grow from it too, but I also want the business to be better from it too, because if I'm in this career field, I want the business to do great because I work for the business, right? So I want me and the business to improve, and that's the way that I will do that and make that happen. But it is important, an important conversation for you to have, for you two to have. Your manager wants you to succeed, so let them know your stress levels have increased and your workload doesn't feel sustainable. Consider bringing this up during your next one-on-one meeting. Alternatively, if you don't meet with your manager frequently, request a one-on-one talk about the bandwidth, so that way you can get a conversation going and y'all can have that topic, and you can know when you'll have that conversation with them, and y'all can work on it together. But I'm telling you, closed mouths don't get fed. I will say that to y'all day in and day out. Closed mouths do not get fed. So for people thinking that, well, my manager should know, my manager should see it. My manager saw my director saw it too, but you know what happened? We talked about it when I came to him with the conversation. That's when we talked about it. I appreciate small things that they do to help me with that. Like sometimes they try to help me get like an extra 30 minutes, half an hour of sleep by having me doing a meeting at another location, and I can leave from here to go there instead of going to the regular office and then going from there to there. That gives me an extra hour. You know what I mean? Like they do small things so I can have the energy and rest I need to be a better person for the business. So I really appreciate them for that. I really appreciate them for that. But I've also have just learned that personally, I have to also make a few sacrifices in order to make sure that I get that rest as well. So that's why I haven't been making myself stay up all night. I'm not just up in my phone all night. I'm not just doing this, doing that. Because what I realize is if they are willing to help me, I can meet them halfway at least to get that taken care of and done. Um, all of this working that I do, man, for 6 days a week, I literally get only Sundays off, and I'm working every other day. From I get up and I be there 8:30, 9 o'clock a.m. all the way until the other job, either 11 p.m. or midnight, right? And that's Monday through Saturday. Sundays, my days run together because of that. Because Sundays, it's only one day, but I gotta fit being a father into that day, being a husband. If there's any family or friends that want to see me, I gotta get stuff done that I can't do throughout the week because I work. Like if there's chores I need to do, things I need to clean up. There's so much that I can't do because I try to cram it all into the Sunday. So even though Sunday's supposed to be my day off, I'm putting a lot of work in on that day. And guess what's happening? I'm thinking I'm going into Monday well rested, but I'm not because I've been working every day consistently. So I talked to the wife and we made an agreement that every third Sunday of the month, I am just gonna sleep. I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna sleep, get some rest and sleep. That's it. I can't continue to just keep day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out, year in and year out. I can't continue to keep doing that to myself. So I made a game plan with my team at home. I made a game plan with them, my work crew, both jobs. We made game plans to make this happen. But all in all, I'm over it. The overworking, I'm over it. The exhaustion, it's starting to get a little depressing because my kids are complaining about the fact that I work so much. I'm not spending enough time with them. The wife, without complaining, she says it. Without saying it, she says it. Um, and I can just feel myself just, I'm just, tired. I can feel it. Even as we speak right now, man, my body is in a way of like, I know I'm a little tired, but I can't because right after this, I got to go to the next job. You know what I mean? One job to the next. But that's where that game plan comes into play. or I'll figure it out. I'll find a way to get my rest, find a way to get my time off, find a way to be productive. And with that, my mental health will get better. It will get better. Yes, my mental health is I'm not saying it's at a low right now, but my mental health is taking a beating right now. Um, I do need to work on it and get better at it. I am very, very exhausted. I don't really have the energy or time to work on it, but I'm going to make it. I'm going to make the time to do it. But here we are. I'm still pushing forward. Normally when things like this come up and it's regarding my mental health, I would literally wait till the last minute before I do something about it. And the fact that everybody can see how tired I am, that's a problem. I have to fix it. Because especially with the funeral home, that's the first job I go to in a day. And I'm thinking I'm well refreshed and energized coming in. And y'all can still say, oh man, you need some rest. You're tired. You need some rest. You need to sleep more. Yeah, you're right. I do. I'm working on it. I'm going to try to make it happen and do my best to make it happen. But I just think we all should understand that our mental health is so much more to it than just making sure that you don't have any drama going on at home. Your mental health could be at work, at the place you love to go to the gym, your favorite basketball court, your favorite football field. Like, it doesn't matter where you're at. I think you can still feel this way. I'm just going to be honest. Um, I think if you don't take the time out to really take care of your mental and really take care of your physical body, it starts to wear down on you. And I think the more you ignore it, the faster it takes that process, or the faster that process happens. So I don't want to get to a point where I'm ignoring my well-being and my mental, and then here we are a year down the road, and now I don't even know where to begin. I can't think straight enough for me to go get help. You know what I mean? I can't take 2 seconds without running to the bathroom because I haven't been eating well or doing well physically. So I think that it is very important that we take the time to at least recognize anything that is going to really, really, really be detrimental to our mental health and well-being, and we start picking up the pieces to work on that piece by piece. It doesn't matter how small we may start. If we crawl at first instead of walking, it doesn't really matter. I just think the effort in is trying to do it. Um, I don't want to sit here and act like my mental health is always at the perfect place every single week I come and talk to you all. I want to show you that working on your mental health is an everyday task. I'm not gonna come on next week and tell y'all, all right, I'm changing the show up. I don't need to work on my mental health no more. That'll never really be it. There's always something to work on, or something to be better at, or something to grow in. And with that kind of mindset, you can keep growing and keep elevating. But the minute you get to that mindset of being comfortable and being stagnant, there's no growth there, because your comfortability is allowing you to stay in a place where you feel comfortable enough to where you don't need to grow from it. As to where me personally, yeah, I love being there and I love the way it feels, but now I'm ready to be uncomfortable again. So I'm ready to grow again. I'm ready to keep it up and keep going. Um, we just have to understand and realize that uncomfortability is a part of growth. And I think because some of you all understand that when you're trying to grow, it is uncomfortable and you're not used to it. You're like, this is something different. This is a bad feeling. And it's not a bad feeling. It's just uncomfortable for you to deal with because you've never been there before. So I think that we can do a better job at it if we just understood those weird feelings we talk about or think about. Those are actually that's just uncomfortability when we're trying to be better as people. Honestly, I think you all should know that. Me personally, like, I'm so used to being uncomfortable. It's just a part of me now. It's just a part of me. That's why I say, one, I do believe you learn something every day, and I'm not the same man I was yesterday. Hell, I'm not the same man I was an hour ago. You know what I mean? Simple as that. But that goes to say, like, always try to work and improve yourself. The minute you feel like you've stopped improving and you don't have any more work to do, I'll show you somebody that is not taking care of themselves. I will. I'll just be honest. If you're not improving and not growing, what are you here for? What are you doing? What are you doing altogether? Again, personally with me, I have mental issues so much. I've been having them since I was a kid. A lot of it is from childhood trauma. A lot of it is from family fucking me over as an adult. But all in all, I know where to go to and who to talk to when I need to deal with that kind of trauma. All in all. So just to be safe on there. I just advise everybody that's listening, even if it's only one person, like, man, it's not the easiest thing to do in the world, but I do believe you should try. I do believe after walking a few steps on that path, you'll be able to jog. Then you'll be able to sprint. I'll never say run because I don't want you to run through any issue that has to do with your mental health. I'd prefer you to jog through. That way you get more time to make sure, okay, it's looking good. Yeah, okay, it's looking good. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, that's feeling good. All right, that's good. Cool. Running through it means you ain't got enough time to check and see if everything all right. Good, 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 good. But you missed a couple bads in there that you need to work on. All in all, all in all. But my one goal every time I come on here and I talk to everybody, even if it's only one person that's listening and it helps them, I'm okay with that. But my one goal is I want everybody to see and understand that working on yourself, working on you as an individual, being better for yourself in the future, for better for yourself tomorrow, it's not a crime. And it's great to have accountability to tell yourself you need to work on something. I don't care if you need to work on throwing away shit on outside every day. So when you see something, you ball it up, put it in your pocket, throw it away when you get home. Who cares if you got a pocket full of trash when you get home? What you stopped doing was throwing shit outside like you said you wanted to do. See what I'm saying? So I would love for everybody to get to a place where they are comfortable enough to ask for help and or go find help. So that way they don't have to run into these issues like this. Um, like it says in the articles, your mental health, because you're mentally not feeling it, it can physically start creating issues for you and then physically start creating problems that you don't want to deal with. So all in all, I say let's just work on it. Honestly, I don't see why we shouldn't, why not, why you don't want to, but I say let's just work on it. That's what we really need to do. Work on those issues, work on those things. Um, I try to work on myself every day. I plan on working on myself every day. I am not perfect. Nobody in this world is perfect. I think I just try, and that's all I can ask for is the effort. Um, I just wish you all would do the same and respect yourselves and give yourselves at least that effort. If you have been having issues with your mental health and you're working on them, even though you're not getting the results you want, shout out to you. I will clap my hands for you. I will clap all day long for the fact that you are simply out there trying to make yourself better and be better. Um, it only starts with just one step forward, and you'll be okay from there. But all in all, man, I really want everybody to be on a better page because I think if we all work on our mental, it'll be easier to deal with those issues we have with people, regardless of what the situation may be. But when our judgment is clouded so much by negative thoughts and bad things in our mental because of situations that we can let go of and deal with, I think we are creating our own problems and issues. So just I'm hoping and I hope y'all promise me that y'all will work on that and do better at it. Cause I really do care. Even if I don't know you, never seen you before in life, but you watch it and you take some advice or you hear me, like just know I do care about you. Anybody in the world I'll care about because they didn't give me a reason not to. You know what I mean? Like that's all we need in this world, just a little more kindness and caring. But I care enough to come out here and tell y'all, like, man, like, fix it. Work on our mental. Get it better. Be stronger. Be better. Be better than yesterday. That's all I can really say. Be better than yesterday. I know relapses happen. Just don't stay there. Okay? Just don't stay there. Try to make it out. Try to make it out the hood. I like to call it. Try to make it out the hood. Um, but all in all, thank y'all again for coming by to listen to me. On this wonderful Thursday afternoon. I really do appreciate y'all so much. I was really hoping to be into the studio today, but I got caught up at work at the end of my shift today, and I left about 5 to 10 minutes later than I was supposed to. But y'all still got me live and in action. You know what I mean? But I definitely appreciate y'all for checking in with me. I will catch y'all again next week, Thursday, 4 p.m. on the hottest radio station on the planet. Hot 702.5 FM. I do appreciate y'all. But again, until next week, peace, love, and hair grease. I'll catch y'all next week.